this is called a diving robots game. Okay, it's a game where robots gets to dive or avoid obstacle. I can call it obstacle avoiding game. Okay, obstacle avoiding game. Now this game, how does it work? The first thing is for you to go pick a sprite called robots. Look at the sprite. You come over here, pick a sprite, look for robots. Yes, this type of robot here, there's this other type of robots here. I think I will use this. Okay, I'll use this. Then they change the size to 50. Now this is what you do in your first class. They'll bring out the robots. Okay, and make this one invisible. They bring out the robots. Yeah, let me delete this. I think I love that other robot. Alright, they'll bring out the robots. They'll bring out this other one. This one is a sprite. Okay, I created this from here. I came over here to paint. So instead of that, now this already created. I went to paint and I drew with a circle, just like this. Okay, then I write start. Click on here and type start. Okay, start. You get it now? So that's how I got that one. Okay, so oh shit. Okay, all right, then back to this particular one. I also drew these obstacles. There are different obstacles you will draw. We have with rectangle, sorry. I drew from this, I drew this part. Make sure there is a space between them. Different pattern of obstacles. Look at the second pattern of obstacle. Look at the third pattern of obstacle. Look at the first pattern of obstacle. Now let me draw another one for you. You come over here to draw another one, go to paint, and then another pattern of obstacle I want to draw is this. Then I come over here and draw another one. Okay, can you see that? So that is this. So they will draw all this pattern of obstacles. You can draw this on the board for them. The pattern, draw the pattern on the board, draw the distance on the board, let them pick their sprite and let them start to code. Let them start to code. So to start to code, you have to click on the robots. Okay, click on the robots on start. Let's first write the code on start. The code on start says we want to ensure that when we click on start, the thing starts immediately, like the project starts immediately. So it has to switch costume. We have to, on this start again, let's go to the costume. We have to create an empty sprite. Paint an empty sprite. Okay, that's our costume 2. Look at it. Let me go back again. This costume 2. Okay, so you can rename it to anything. You can rename it to disappear, or you can rename it to start, or you can rename it to anything. So this is the code. When this sprite, when green flag clicked, okay, what should happen? It should switch costume to costume 2. Okay, when the green flag is clicked, it should switch costume to costume 1. Okay, and when the sprite itself is clicked, then it should switch costume to costume 2. Okay, let's leave the 2 as costume 2. All right, no, it should switch costume to costume 1 when the sprite clicks. All right, costume 1, then you click on start, then it will start to disappear. Do you understand? So that is just on start. Then on the obstacles, now there's something I did on the obstacles. Now there are 2 sections of the obstacle whereby the obstacles of different pattern, we move to the right direction. We keep moving, gliding by to the right direction. So to do that, you have to, after you finish drawing all this, okay, this will be your first class set. Your first class, ensure they bring out all the sprites. Sprite 1, Sprite 2, Sprite 3. You can rename this Sprite 2 as obstacle, and then rename this one as start, whatsoever. So they bring out the sprite, they draw the costume for the obstacles, different patterns of the obstacles, sorry. Then they also draw the costume for the start, different pattern. The first pattern is the start, then the second one is when it disappears, when it creates an empty block. Then on your robot, only one, you understand, you just bring out the robot and reduce the size and bring it up here. So now this code that you see here is what I wrote out so as not to waste time. We said, now this code, let me explain this code. You have to explain the code to the children. So before you even start, you have to explain this is what they will write, that first class. Please, they must write this first code on the obstacle in your first class. Okay, now let's do some manipulation. They said when this sprite is clicked, wait 1 second, then hide. That is when the green flag is clicked, it will wait 1 second to hide. Then to set the score to 0, I came over here to variable, okay, and I created a variable, make a variable called score. I type score here, okay, and click on OK. So this is it already. Okay, so set variable, set score to 0. Forever, wait 2 seconds before it even come out. When you click it to hide first, wait 2 seconds before it come out, then create clone of myself. We will have just say next costume. Okay, there are different patterns which you can use to do this. You can just say next costume, but we said create clone of myself. That means clone, that means it should replicate itself. Okay, and when it creates, it should now switch costume to pick random from 1 to 5. That's the total number of costumes that was created. How many costumes? 1 to 5. 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5. Do you get it now? So it's to create clone of myself and switch costume to pick random 1 to 5. That's what it's going to do. Okay, now this second code is that when I start as a clone, what should happen? That second code is to give you score, so that as the thing is moving this left and right, the score will be changing. Change score by 1, then go to x240 and y0. That means this position is for it to move to the left hand side. Look at it, x240. Let's look for where x is 240. x240, s240. Let's come over here. s240. Okay, doesn't want to go. Let's look for where it is. s240. 240 should be from here. Go to s240. s240, y and y0. Do you get this now? Go to x240 and y0, then it should show. Okay, it should show. That means it should come out from here, from this angle, and show. Then glide 2 seconds. That's now glide to this side. That's now glide. Come over here. Glide to the left hand side. Glide to the left hand side. Minus 240. Look at it. Minus 240. Look at the position. Minus 240 and y position. And y position. Then delete the clone. So once it moves, let's look at it now. Wait 1 second. I'll click my green flag. I'll click my start. Look at it. This is the first pattern. It moves, it disappears. It moves, it will disappear. The next one will come out. It moves, it will disappear. The next one will come out. It will move, it will disappear. That is the meaning of that code. And as it's moving, you will see that as you are now, this robot is have to start avoiding these things. Okay, avoiding these things. Once you avoid one, that means you get 1 score. You avoid another one, you get another score. You avoid another one, you get another score. Okay, it must not touch you. So we are going to write a code for the robot. Okay, we're going to write a code for the robot. Now let's get started for that. To write a code for the robot, you click on your robot. We say when green flag clicked. Okay, all right, set score to 0. That one is not necessary again because we've already set score to 0, or we can just put it. can just still put it, set score to 0, then go to X1. Very quick one. All right, now there's something that I omitted when I was showing you guys the costume for robots, where I've shown you costume for robots, and that is here. We have 3 costumes for robots, and here we have another one called Die. So you can just go and pick a costume called Star, then edit it as I'm dead or Die, or just type Die. Okay, that's one thing. Don't forget this part, please. Don't forget this part. Then another one, we have to also create another costume for backdrop. So all these things. The second backdrop is Game Over. Edit it here too as Game Over. Here too as Game Over. Okay, so I have to edit it here too as Game Over. All right. Then over here, let me now break down this code for the robots for you. All right, the code for the robots is just this. 152. All right, the code for the robots is this. When green flag played, what should happen? It should go to X minus 210, Y minus X minus 210, and Y is 131. This position is called this position. Sorry, let me just click my mouse. I need to change the mouse. All right, here is the position. X minus 210, this up. X minus 210, Y. X minus 210, Y is 131. This up. So you have to drag your position up here. You have to drag your robot up around here. This is the position. Okay. Then you should now switch costume to robot C. Forever switch costume to robot C. Now this particular code, you have to bring out if then else out. Now this code is for it to be going up and down. Like I said if any key press, then change Y by 10. That means it should keep going up. Like it should go up. It should go up. Change Y by 10. It should go up. Else switch costume to robot C. You have to switch costume to another robot, and change Y by -3. That means it will keep coming down. -5. That means it will come down. Okay. Now this is what I mean. Let me bring it inside here. Now if I click it now, you see it will keep coming down. So if I click any key to go up. If I click any key to go up. If I click any key to go up. If I click any key, it will go up. If I click any key, it will go up. You can see. So you can press this up. I'm pressing the key now, and it's going up and down. Okay, that's the meaning of that code. Now the second code is this. If touching sprites 2, that means if touching this obstacle, it should switch to costume Die, because under this sprite 2 is going to switch to costume Die. Remember, there is a costume we created here that is called Die. Look at the Die. To switch to costume Die, then wait 1 second, switch backdrop to Game Over. It's going to switch backdrop to Game Over. Now let me bring this one inside here to show you how it works. All right, now let's go. So this part now, I have to be very careful. So you can say I'm dead, Game Over. That is the meaning. Once it touches, it's going to say Game Over. I'm dead, and it say Game Over. So you have to break down this code for the children. Not that you just pack code and give children like that. You have to break down the code for the children. So there will be a section, so a person will create, let them create it section by section. Create this one, put it somewhere here. Create this one, put it somewhere here. So they will understand the code. You understand? They will understand how the code is, how the code works. This one is for the key to control the robots to go up, and then to avoid the obstacles up, and when you release it, when you move your hand, it will come down. In fact, when you stop clicking any key, it will come down. Then this one is the game over for it if it touch the body, if it touch sprite 2, if it touch those obstacles. Why this one is a game over if it goes down here? Is a game over if it goes down here. So let me return this back here. It may not be necessary because it's to make the work harder, it's to make it harder. So just do this, use these two codes for them. Just use these two codes for them. Remember, it has to be outside under the other if, not inside. It has to be outside under the other if, not inside. Okay. Now this particular code is not necessary, for real, I won't lie to you. This particular one is not necessary because this code now is for it so that if it's going down, it should say game over 2. You understand? So let's go. So when I click my green flag, I click my stars to disappear. Once it touches that thing, it stops immediately. You get the point? So you just try to manipulate their code such that it will be very easy for them. You get the point? So this particular code, it will even be more hard. Let me delete this one. It's not necessary. I don't need it. I don't need this block. I don't need this code. Okay, so this is just the code. This is just the code. So a brief revision: in your first class, they bring out this, bring out the costume. Okay, create the costume, empty costume for this. Under sprite 2, they create different patterns of the obstruction. They create first class 2, they create another pattern, another this thing for die. Then they create backdrop, 2 backdrop. There's one backdrop called game over. There's another one, empty blue sky. Okay, they can choose another backdrop if they want. They can choose something that look like alien kind of backdrop. Okay, and in the first class 2, they also have to write a code. They have to write a code where the thing hides. Okay, where it hides, when it clone itself, when it switch costume, when it glides, when it go to position, and when it change core. That's the first class. Now the second class, they can now code for these sprites. This one said may not be necessary. For real, I don't think it's necessary. This stats may not be necessary. Okay, let me even delete it. Stats is not necessary. Okay, then the backdrop is very necessary. You have to write this code for the backdrop. When this sprite click, change backdrop to blue sky and wait. Now the robot code is very important. Okay, this robot code is very important, and remember, you have to break it down. When I drag this one out and I drag this one out, okay, this code, this one is second class. Okay, this code is where you kick any green flag and then the thing was able to move up and come down. This is any code. If you want to write any code, if you want to create anything that you want it to be moving up and then you are controlling it up and down, you understand, controlling it with a key. The thing will keep coming down by saying y by -5. This is a method. This is what you write. If you want to create a code where the thing dies, your game over. If it touches the obstacle or if it touches something, it will die. This is a code. You understand? Then this is the positioning of the sprite. Okay, this one said may not be necessary if you want to. This switch costume is not, it may not be necessary if you want to, if you don't want it. You get the point. So you just break the codes down for the children so that the children will have proper understanding of the code and there won't be any confusion. You get the point. Now let's play our game. Let me play green flag. All right, so I have to avoid it. I have to avoid it. I have to avoid. You see, once it touches me, that's game over. I only get score 4. You get the point. So that's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works. Look at this too. Look at this. This one is when it was gliding. No, I showed you this in part 1. Okay, so that's just the code. That's just the code. You know, it's a very interesting game. You can see. Okay. Okay, as I'm avoiding the obstacle of different pattern, you can see as I'm avoiding the obstacle of different pattern, it's I'm getting more scores. So that means I avoided 5 different obstacles. 5 different obstacles. That gives me the score. Do you understand? So that's how it works. All right. Please make it engaging, make it fun. I just got to beg you, make it engaging, make it fun. So your first class, they will draw the pattern of the